Hey yo, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. Very often when I finish a video, my second thought is usually, oh, what am I gonna do for next week? And then sometimes you just get an idea that just randomly drops into your head, or it just comes in real life. And this is one of those moments where an idea for making a video became one of the easiest things ever, and this was birthed by one of my greatest friends ever, even though he's definitely not gonna like how I talk about him in this video. So basically, this past weekend, we were all talking together, me and a group of friends, and we were talking about anime. And I had a sneaky suspicion that one of my friends wasn't in love with anime as much as I am, because he never really talked about some of the newer ones. He just has his old favorite and returns to some of the oldies that he loves. And very often, he doesn't really watch. And then finally, he admits, yeah, I don't really watch anime anymore. And to my dismay, and the other weed in the chat was like,
何してんだてめえ。
おはようございます。
okay. We were just so stupefied by him admitting this. I couldn't believe it. This idea for this video was already in my head because I sometimes like to go on Reddit, sometimes I like to walk around Twitter, and sometimes I just like to see into the internet space and just see what's going on and see what people are talking about. And it's funny to see how many people are going through these stages that I'm about to talk about. And believe me, so many anime watchers are going through this stage, and very few actually get to the last stage that's going to be talked about within this video. So I am now going to introduce to you the stages of an anime watcher.
But why?
I'll kill you.
So we all love anime. We all have anime that do and give us the greatest joy there ever was. And for the first stage of an anime watcher is a novice. One anime is the one anime that got you in. It's the one anime that inspired you to want to learn about the genre, make you want to watch manga, make you want to get figurines, make you want to go to conventions, make you just want to interact with this great and oftentimes toxic community. Not always toxic, but very much so toxic. And at this moment, it's filled with so much fun and love that you don't even care what's going on. You don't even really understand what's going on. You're just enjoying the symphony of beautiful art, waifus, ecchi, hentai, and so many other great things that is going on in this wonderful community. And this will be your new obsession for the foreseeable future, and you will be taking a considerable amount of information during this time. You will begin to stumble onto so many new things, and you're just stumbling onto some of the greats of this community. And now, usually you don't have your favorite anime of all time, but you do have an anime that you will always love, even though it is not the best, but it's the anime that got you in.
邪悪なものだけを何を言っているのでしょう。じゃあお前はなぜ苦しんでいる。
When you're in this stage, you are absorbing so much anime. You are just learning and learning and learning. During this stage, everything's great, everything is hopeful, everything is beautiful, and you keep watching just to get your mind blown. And it's happening consistently. Every time you watch something, you're probably either stupefied, happy, or super inspired. And this may even influence your life more than you might know. I know tons of people that went through this stage and changed their career paths. And that's the greatness of being a novice, because you're new to everything, so everything is new to you. But the next stage is where it really gets good.
Now you're gonna kneel before me and beg forgiveness.
You're pretty funny.
I said kneel!
So the second stage of being an anime watcher is, where has this been all my life? Once you get to this stage, you definitely are finding your favorite anime of all time, or you're at least making a list of some of your favorite animes of all time. This is where you are falling in love. This is where you have just gotten your first taste of the sweet morsel of anime, and now you cannot stop taking licks. And oh my god, you are just loving every single thing. You are finding the highs of highs. You're experiencing the great of greats. You're looking at recommendations. You now have a little bit of understanding of the community, some of the lingo. You've maybe been to a convention or two, or maybe you have just been in a chat room and you've had so much fun meeting like-minded people.
貴様はそう貴様は積んでいたのだ初めから
Right now, you're beginning to form a list of waifus or of women that if you had a chance to make your 2D wife, you would make them your wife in a heartbeat and you would just swear off 3D women for the rest of your existence. At this stage, everything is beautiful, everything is heightened. It's so much higher that it makes being a novice seem like the most minimal high that you've ever gotten in your entire life. And you're a part of the community. It is now a part of your identity. You now quote any sort of show. You now get probably most JoJo references. And at this point, you just love talking and having a critique show about everything you watch, and you're just in love with these new group of people that you're able to interact with. This community is magic for you, and it just keeps you alive, and it makes you want to wake up each and every day with the same fire and passion that you feel, and it just goes up and up and up, and you're watching so much anime, and now you're experiencing what the greatness of this genre has to offer, and you just can't get enough of it. Now you have your own idea of dub versus sub. A good part of you is now debating some of the endings of some of the greatest anime ever released, and you're probably looking at Berserk or reading Berserk. You're just doing so much, and you're just experiencing the greatest highs of being a part of something with so much source material. And you're probably cried to an anime before, because I know I have. And boy, oh boy, oh my god, that's when I knew, yeah, I'm stuck with this for life. But now it's time to get into the third stage. Now, within the third stage, I would like to call it seasoned. By seasoned, I mean you have watched literally some of the greatest of the great. You've had the highest of the highs. You've probably seen so many movies. You've been a part of the community. You now debate. You probably have a high-ranking position in debate, or you've at least made someone get ratioed. Once you're seasoned, it doesn't have the same fire as it used to be. Season after season, you've been watching for a little bit of a while. You're finding gems, kind of, but most of them are meh. You probably experienced your 12-episode failure, or even the animes that got discontinued. But you continue to make an honest try, but you've lost that fire. You're not really into anything, you're just watching because this was part of you and you loved it so much, and you're still chasing after that same high you got. Now, unfortunately, there is a second part to seasoned, and we've all heard this line. This is one of the most famous lines ever said, and you can see it as much as you possibly want to. You could probably go on the internet right now and find someone who said it recently.
兄貴は死んだ。もういない。だけど、俺の背中に、この胸に、一つになって生き続ける。穴を掘るなら天をつく。
And now is one of the beginnings where I talk about my friend. And for this second part of the seasoned stage of an anime watcher, there is no good anime out. In between the conversation, we spoke of anime, and he tried to predict what the plot of some of these animes were. I was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was also talking about Tokyo Revengers, and he said some generic plot that was similar to Naruto, and I laughed because I was like, fam, that couldn't be any further from that anime's plot. And it was one of those things that I realized, he's just going through a phase. He's going through a time where he does not feel incited by what he's seeing, and so he's just not really watching. So we respected that. Me and another friend, we just respected that. We was just like, all right, bet if that's how you feel that way. And he seemed so angry because I'm gonna just let the cat out of the bag. His favorite anime is probably Naruto. Naruto was the one thing where he played all the games, got a part of the community. He used to give so many hours to Ninja Storm. Oh my god. And I did too. I just wasn't always just into Naruto. Actually, Naruto probably is my least, no, it's not my least favorite of the big three, but it wasn't the greatest to me. I just loved it. He's going through that phase of anime watchers that is just full of piss and vinegar and angst. And I recognize the symptoms because I've seen those symptoms so many times and I didn't really place them until he started speaking about it. And I'm not saying that I haven't gone through these symptoms. I think I have, but I think what changed or what was different for me was I took a break from anime for about roughly a year and a half. And this was because I was busy, I was traveling, I had moved to a new place, and I just didn't necessarily have the time because I was trying to get myself acclimated. I think I was heading there possibly. Because I'm 100% sure I didn't have the same love for anime at a certain point, and that was so many years ago.
Thank you. For loving me.
So I went to the internet and I wanted to confirm what I was seeing. I just started looking around. I didn't even comment. I would just see how people were so stuck in this stage. And very often when you become seasoned, you don't necessarily stay in this stage. This stage has this second part to it because once you become seasoned, you don't necessarily become bitter. Also has a lot of fake manga lovers because they're like, oh, anime sucks. But really, they're just reading manga because they're just weaning themselves off little by little of the anime community. And I see it very often. It's not something that is talked about just as often, or maybe we talk about it or we just ignore it or we don't really diagnose it. But these seasoned anime watchers are kind of bummers to talk to. It's built with negativity. They have so much nostalgia from some of the greatest anime highs that they've ever had that they pretty much only can talk about those animes. They don't talk about anything new, and this was very much visible within my friend. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know how to prescribe how to get out of this stage, to be honest. I have had anime in my life my entire life. Of course, the anime that got me really into the community happened much later in my teenage years or really late child years. I've just always had anime. I was born in Hawaii. I had Japanese channels. I had Japanese subtitles my entire life. That's why I've been sub and I really have no commentary on sub versus dub. I've just always had sub. And now there's a few things that I've noticed with people that are within this seasoned and there isn't anything good to watch place. They don't venture out of their genre very often. This happens to a lot of shonen watchers. Absolutely. Oh my God, this happens to them very often. A lot of you guys that are just shonen watchers, boy, oh boy, are you missing out because there's a lot of fire once you get outside of the I believe it's, you get outside of the random power-ups and you get outside of so many of the mainstays of the shonen genre. And the ranges of emotions throughout the stage is just a little bit of bitterness, and I usually
殺してきたか。インパクトの直線に形を変え。なんて新鮮なインスピレーション。
ignore people like this. I ain't even gonna lie to you because they need to work through it with themselves and they need to find what made them love anime in the first place. And there is hope. There is a stage after this stage. Once you get to this stage, you either stay there or you stop watching entirely. But once you get to this stage, more often than not, you stay in this stage. And the fourth stage, which I am now currently talking about, and I think that's where I am currently, because I've started to notice myself, what I'm doing and what I'm watching and how I'm interacting with what I am watching. And this stage I call the Headhunter. Only those that know without a shadow of doubt that great anime and great manga are out there. Even though it may have ended, even though it may have already passed, or maybe it happened before they were even born. Even the appearance of the goods and bads of failed manga and anime are interesting to headhunters. No matter what, they're interested because now they are taking what they love and they're searching for it. They're finding anything and everything that piques their interest. Headhunters share some of these qualities. They probably have a favorite genre, but their favorites are a diverse list of different animes, and they probably have a tier list of genres. To be honest, not many in the lower stages have a tier list of genres. Maybe novices, and it just depends, but very often you're a headhunter if you have a tier list of genres, and even then you have a favorites list that is so diverse and filled with so many different animes. To be honest, I think of headhunters like treasure hunters, basically. They are looking for what makes them happy. They're looking for something that they're just interested in, and they don't mind just finding a random recommendation and going for it, especially if it may give them what they want in that moment. And what they want could be that great moment where they feel a piece of that love. There are still highs within the headhunter because it's out of self-interest. You're really going off what interests you and what do you want. One thing that people that are in this stage are okay with is they don't mind just watching. They don't really care for spoilers, or even if they see spoilers, they will still watch and read. They are just looking to love obscure anime, and they also binge better than pretty much all of the stages except for a novice. They are thrill seekers. They're looking to be knowledgeable on so many different ranges of anime, and they'll take any recommendation out there. They're just trying to experience what everyone else has experienced, and they're trying to enjoy everything that's out there. They love anime movies. They love having their favorite studios. They know certain artists just by their art style immediately.
All right, I'll start with the shit on the left. Let's dance the jitterbug, baby!
Ouchie!
Very few get to this stage because you have to get past so many different things, and some people don't necessarily have to go through all the stages, but most people will. When you get to the headhunter stage, you know for a fact that this is always going to be a part of your life. Some of the greatest quotes are probably in your memory. You remember moments, you remember episodes, you remember everything, and you feel a real love for everything, and you know the greatest highs of anime are not behind you. They are just need to be found. Some of the obscure hits just need to be found. Some of the animes that really hit you in the pit of your stomach just need to be found. And I think I've recently entered my headhunter stage because I was seasoned, but I don't think I felt the same joy, and I think I was approaching where my friend was. But right now, I do not feel the same way because right now I'm watching so many obscure anime and it doesn't necessarily bother me that there are only 12 episodes. I have my own problems. I hate anime with 12 episodes. Well, I used to. Now I'm cool with it because now I'm finding the joys and the gems that make me happy within those 12 episodes, and I'm grateful for that. All in all, this is what I see. This is the stages. How do you feel about this? Where are you in these stages? Are you just like my friend going through his little phase with anime, or are you just now seeing my video and you're in the there's nothing great out stage? Which I hope and I recommend you just try more anime and manga and you just go out there and experience. You don't have any expectations. You just go out there and experience and see what sticks. Because for me, I've experienced so many different anime and manga that have ended that I really hated how they just went out. I wanted them to have more. And I feel the same way about Air Gear. I feel the same way about so many different anime and manga. I think Shiki deserves way more love. But now I just appreciate the moments that I got with each of these anime. And if you feel the same way I do, please let me know. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.